Hello to you all. Welcome to the Next Generation Role Model Show. My name's Victoria Sommer. Thank you for being here. I am very excited that today on the show, new Next Generation Role Model, and her name is Isabella Strickland. Now, I have been watching Isabella for a while, so we're so delighted that she can be on the show today. She is an actress, she's a screenwriter, and she's a published author. And she's 15 years old, and she's coming live all the way over from California. Come on in. I'm going to bring in Isabella right now.
I'm in Canada at the moment.
Oh, you're in Canada!
Yeah, it's really hot today. It feels like California. It's nice.
Oh, fantastic. Canada. Oh, amazing. All right. But do you live in California?
Well, some of my family does, but I don't. I would like to go there for an internship, and California is a great place for acting, but I live in Canada.
But you live in Canada. There you go. Okay. And tell me just a little bit, first of all, when did you first know that you wanted to be an actress? Did the acting come first, or was it the writing?
Well, when I was in third grade or so, I did an onstage play called Clowning Around, and it was really fun. And I realized that I could do it out of school. It was an out of school activity. And I used to do a lot of things out of school, like piano or dancing. So I tried it, and I did it with Arts Umbrella in Vancouver, and I really liked it. And I continued to do stage acting for a while, specifically musical theater. And then I tried the regular stage acting. And I realized that I feel like you can connect more with the character through that as a personal feeling. I like watching other people on stage sing, but I can't sing that well, so that didn't work out. So I thought there's so many other things I could try in the acting business. So I decided to try to do film acting. And the first ever audition I had, it was a cattle call, and there were so many people, and I thought, is this really what it's going to be like? It was really scary, but through a while of building the people I know, I realized that this is something I would like to pursue in the future.
Wow. Okay. Very good. All right. So your first love was theatre, really? Which is interesting because it was my first love too. And I fell in love watching, Sound of Music and My Fair Lady. And they were all the things that just made me go, oh yeah, I want to do this for a living and I want to do it for a career. So I know how that feels. You're obviously creating a substantial fan base on social media, specifically on Instagram, which is where I found you. Tell me, how do you use your platform and how do you intend to use it to help others and to inspire other kids?
Well, obviously, I would like to show people that you can try whatever you want as long as you're comfortable with it and as long as you think you'd enjoy it. Because the worst thing you can do is not try, because then you never know. It'd be like a whole mystery. So through my platform, I want to raise awareness for learning differences, because I have a couple myself, and it can make it hard to act sometimes, but it can also be a superpower in one sense, because it makes it really easy to hyper focus on things, because I have ADHD. And I want to bring awareness to that through that. Also, to have support and a voice for youth nowadays, because it can be really hard to speak out.
Yeah, it can be. It can be really hard to speak out. But of course, if you create your own platform and you're creating your own videos, then it gives you a voice and it gives you the ability to communicate with other people. Whereas when I was your age, we didn't have anything, like that. So in a way, yeah, social media is definitely a blessing. Tell me how it's actually impacted your career specifically.
Well, through social media and LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and kind of TikTok, I've met a couple amazing people, and they've shown me parts of social media that I probably wouldn't have got to if I never met them, or parts of my future career. So asking questions, I asked someone a question about a film, and you know what? Now we're making a film. So asking is a really good and a really important thing in any business.
Asking, yeah, absolutely. So that probably is the advice that you would give to other kids that are starting out, actually to ask and make sure that you're communicating and you're saying what you want. And I think that's a very important thing for me. I often made sure to say, I was often too scared to say what I wanted, but I found that when I said it and when I kept persisting, I ended up getting what I wanted, which is an important thing as well. Let's talk about agents and managers, because this is sometimes a sticky point for some kids, because some kids find it hard to get a manager, or some kids, they have a manager or an agent, but they feel like they're not getting out or getting enough opportunities. Do you think that kids need an agent and a manager? What's your viewpoint on that?
Well, it is incredibly helpful. However, you can look on Actors Access if you'd like. If you're just starting out and figuring out if you like it, you can start on Actors Access. But through time, if you want to get bigger roles, I would recommend getting an agent or a manager, specifically a social media manager or a specific agent of the place you're at. So if it's in Canada, I have a Canadian agent, I have a commercial agent, and I have a US agent, because it's all different business standpoints depending on the price and the contracts and everything. And keep in mind, you do need to pay your agent if you do get a job. So finding a good agent that fits you is really important, because I did go through having an agent that kind of just placed me on the side, and then I didn't get anything for a while. So having that opportunity just means I need a switch, and that means it's just not working out for me in that sense of view. So I switched to a different agent, and it's working out way better now. And it's a lot about communication, because if you don't communicate with people, things are going to get across. And going back to asking, so you can look up an agency and you need to make sure it's verified, because if it's not a verified agency, you could get in kind of a sticky scenario, because that's something that happens. So backing the information you have, and then maybe asking the agency, hey, I'm an upcoming actor, I have a resume, and I'd like an agent. Asking is really important.
Yeah, definitely. And let's just talk just a little bit whilst we're on this subject about your career. Just let our viewers know, what the highlights of your career is, because I do know that you've won over 21 awards for your work, and for being as young as you are, that's pretty amazing. So could you just give us a little rundown about your career and what you've done?
So I've done a lot, as you can see. I like film, obviously, and I started acting. I've described how started acting started, and I did acting. This is maybe my 4th year, so in TV and film acting, and I did a camp on making your own short film. And I did it for maybe 3 years. And I realized that this is something that I could really do, because I enjoy writing scripts and I enjoy creating things that people can visually see, such as acting or stage acting in theater. So it was just another way of expressing myself, because expressing yourself gives relief on yourself and it shows other people who you are. And that's a good thing. So I decided to go to a harder camp, and that showed more depth. So it was a 3-week camp, and I feel like I really found what I really wanted to do. So I thought maybe I could make one on my own, and I did. And I borrowed tools from that camp, because it's at Cinematheque in Vancouver. So I did that, and then I made one, and then I realized I can make so much more. So like I said, I asked on LinkedIn if I could, to someone who's pretty good at writing, if we could make something together. And then it brought me there, and big things are coming. I'm just saying, through that. I have 3 things, three films in the works.
3 different projects in the pipeline, 3 different short films, or are they feature films?
Feature films.
Feature films, 3 different feature films. Well, that's really exciting. And you're playing a lead role in the films as well as producing.
Well, I enjoy producing. I definitely enjoy producing. There's so many bits and parts of acting, and then the production of a film, and making the start, and finding funding. So any part that you can take in that, even if it's just costume or casting, it's really amazing, because you're a part of something that could be amazing. So having any opportunity I can in it. I would like to give other people opportunities, especially starting up actors, because in this film industry, I see that it's mostly about your looks and what you've previously been in, which I wouldn't say is flawed, because you're taking the safe route. You understand that this person probably is good for the role, and they're getting recognition for it because, oh, they've been in this big film, I assume they'd be good in this too. But it doesn't leave room for the people that also might have potential.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And obviously, as you're highlighting, the business is a tough business. There can be a lot of peer pressure, particularly with the presence of social media and you guys putting yourself out there. You're leading yourself open to comments or to any kind of ridicule or bullying or negativity. Have you had that, and how do you deal with that?
Well, of course, there's been negativity before, but ignoring it and not taking it to heart, because they don't know you. They don't personally know you. They don't understand what's going on in your head, and it could just bounce off of you, or you could take it in and it could really bring you down through your career if you really want to do this. And social media is a really hard thing to be in, because it's social media. You're not face to face. If you were face to face to someone, people would not insult you the way they do on social media. So it's hard in that sense. However, just kind of moving away from that and kind of just pushing the comment away and thinking, if there's other good comments, that means you're really doing something good. Because if there's 100 comments and there's one bad one, usually people on social media only look at the bad one, but there's 99 more amazing ones.
Yeah, let's focus on the good. Very good advice right there. Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? It seems to me that you have a good idea, so I'm sure you have a good answer for this.
Well, I would like to have my other book. I have one, but there needs to be another one. There needs to be.
Yeah,
So
tell us the name of that book, because you just brought it up really quickly, and I know it's been in stores for a while.
it's Then, There, Here, and Where.
Here and Where. There you go.
I found it. It was so cool. So I went to a mall and I went in Indigo and I found it. And there's one left. I am so happy. I didn't think that would happen.
Isabella's books are flying off the shelf, viewers. So make sure that you go to your nearest store and find her book, or you can also order it online, of course. Yes. So we're very excited, obviously, to have you on the show and to chat to you, because you're here as a next generation role model, meaning we're putting the spotlight on you as a leader and a role model of the next generation, which carries with it some weight. Talk to me a little bit about being a role model and what that means to you.
Well, it encourages people, because if you didn't have role models or peers, either if it's just a teacher or someone you look up to in the class, you wouldn't have motivation to find something that you might like. Because if you don't have the confidence to do it, it could be hard for you. So if you have someone or a peer to talk to about what are the steps I need to do in order to get to this point, if they have experience with that, then it's really important for kids to have that nowadays. That's why social media influencers are important, because if they have a good message, then they're probably trying to do something good, or they're starting out to do something good. So having not specifically a weight, but I know that I need to give a good message for people.
Yeah, giving a good message is so important, because sometimes there are big celebrities out there that are not necessarily sending the right message. So for me, one part of being creating this show, Next Generation Role Model, is creating the new celebrities of tomorrow that really are setting an amazing example. How do kids react to you at school? Because obviously, you're out there and you do the camps that you did, you learned, what you wanted to do, you got excited about it, and you just started doing it. And before you know it, Isabella has her book and she's in bookstores, and you've become this writer and an actor. So just tell me a bit about how they feel about you.
Well, I don't talk about it in school, not because I don't want to, because, it's just a part of my life, but it doesn't necessarily come up. And I don't have a need to because they see me every day at school. They understand who I am as a person. It's just an aspect of my life and a career I have, a career path I have. So if we're talking about it in class, I'll be like, oh yeah, I just have a career I like in careers. I write that down and I go on with my day. But a year ago, I was with the Variety Show of Hearts, which is a funding for kids with learning differences. And someone asked me, hey, were you on there? And I said, yeah. And that was probably the last comment of someone recognizing me, which is okay because I want people to see me for me and not for someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so talk to me about sacrifice. Let's just go there for a little minute, because obviously you're creating your own films, you're writing your own books and getting them published. That's incredibly time consuming. I mean, there has to be sacrifices surely along the way. Tell me a bit about that.
Oh, I do spend my time on it. It's something I enjoy, so it's not necessarily a sacrifice in some sense, but I do sacrifice the time with my friends or opportunities that I might have, but these are opportunities in itself. So I'm not technically losing things. There are certain scenarios where it can hurt, like if I do get rejection for something, because I worked so hard on this, but I guess it just isn't a good fit for them. So it's not necessarily lost, but it's something that I tried and it's something that I gained and it's knowledge that I have.
Yeah, very important. If you don't try, you're never going to learn and you're not going to get that knowledge. And that's important. People are so scared of rejection that they don't even try. So you're a big inspiration to just be persistent, keep trying and going after what you want. That's really amazing. Okay, let's talk about your favorite role model. Who is it and what would you do if you met them?
Well, there's Reese Witherspoon because she promotes books, and I think that's amazing because books are cool. And I really got into reading one now, and I'm so happy because it's almost done. And it's so hard for me to focus on a specific book because I have ADHD and because I have dyslexia and because there's lots of distractions nowadays, like social media or, oh, look, there's a TV. So sitting down and reading is really important to me, and I think it's important to kids nowadays because it's just another way of expressing yourself, but it's also building your cognitive activity too. So I feel like that's important, and that's something that I'd like to talk to her about because it's interesting and I want to know her opinion on it.
Good. So you basically would interview Reese Witherspoon if you
Yeah,
met
that's right.
her, and just, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Why not? So I think that it's really inspiring that you just decided to confront all of your difficulties or your struggles, and you really went for it and became an author despite dyslexia, which you just explained. And actually, I know another very successful actor who has dyslexia, which of course is Tom Cruise. And he's one of the most successful actors in Hollywood. And he's really a legend in his own right now. He's been going for so long and he has his own production company. And obviously, I class him myself to be a role model for me and an inspiration that definitely I'm sure for you too. So he's a shining example of it can be done. And he obviously overcame the hurdles that you're working on overcoming now, which is amazing. Let's talk a bit about charity, because one of the reasons you're on this show is because you don't just care about yourself, but you care about others, and you have time and space in your life to be able to give back. Talk to me about your charity work and what you do to help others.
Well, for Variety, which, as I explained, is a BC children's charity, and it gives funding to kids with learning differences or physical differences, because it can be really hard for maybe a single parent to understand that, maybe for counseling or for verbal counseling, but it can be really important nowadays because it is our next generation, and it is how this next generation will continue and give back to the further and further and further down the line, because that's really important. So I understand my part of what I have gone through, and that life can be really, really hard. And at my old school, it wasn't a good fit because of the public school system. It's like putting a circle in a square. It's just not going to fit, because personally, I don't learn like everyone else, and no one exactly learns the same. No one does. They can have different levels of focus, they can have different motivations, but we're all put into a classroom and we're all taught the same thing. We're all taught the same way. So being able to have the opportunity to go to a school that helps me and helps a bunch of other people is a big opportunity for me, because it brings me to where I am now. I wouldn't be able to read my scripts the way I do. I wouldn't be able to really focus on what I need to in the moment if I didn't have the opportunity to get help. So that's what comes back to Variety. Variety helps and helped me with the funding to go to my school, because it is a little bit costly, but it is important. So having that experience, I realized that there's so many other people who have the exact same issue or problem with me that they need to overcome. So being able to go on their Show of Hearts telethon 2 years ago, I did it this year again. So it's 3 years in a row. The first time I thought, oh my God, it's on TV, it's live. This is so important. This is going to help so many people. It needs to be good. And, there's a couple bumps in the road, but I feel like it really came out the way I wanted it, and that I wanted to do it again because it's helping people. And it's just another way of helping people, because I find that really important, and that's a motivation for me. So this year, since it's a little different because of COVID, we still did it. And I feel like through the obstacles that everyone is going through now, it came out the best that it could, because everyone tried so hard.
That's amazing, and I love hearing your passion, helping others, and how much that means to you. And I understand it's definitely incredibly fulfilling when you know that you've made a difference. And obviously that's a very important part of this show, because we know that you're out there doing your own thing, but in that way we can see that you're clearly making a difference and helping others. And so thank you for setting an incredible example to other kids. And we really love having you on the show today. This was really, really great. And thank you for your excellent answers. And thank you for inspiring others.
No problem. I'm just doing my duty.
There you go. You see it as a duty. That's a beautiful way to look at it. Okay, well, we are going to stay in touch with you. We're very excited that you're joining the Next Generation Role Model family. And we are having many events that are coming up as soon as, things get back to normal. We're pretty close now, I think. Fingers crossed. So I'm sure that all the role models are actually going to meet in person, and I look forward to meeting you in person too. I don't think we're going to be in Canada, but perhaps it's an opportunity for you to come to California.
That would be great. I love California. We drive there often.
So good, so good. Okay, well, I look forward to meeting you in person, and obviously we're going to keep following your work, and I'll have to order your book. That'll be the next thing.
Ooh, yay.
Okay, it's so nice to meet you. Thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.